Damn. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Woo woo. Woo woo woo. How are you doing? My nose itches. How is everyone today? It's a happy Thursday. It's a happy Thursday today. I was just thinking of Black Hole Sun. Black Hole Sun. Oh. Where am I? Maybe I didn't schedule something for today. I might not have scheduled for something for today. I mean, I am doing something today, but I think I might have scheduled something. But good morning, Neil. Bonjour. I'm good. Easily distracted. Hello. How are you? Badger, badger, badger. It's mostly Canadians in here right now. I have 2 Canadians and 1 American. I'm not counting though. Good morning, Baltimore. Lee, going into an office today, so I have to wear real clothes. No, no, Lee, say it isn't so. That's so awful. Why must you go into battle today? Why must you go into battle? It's the badger's birthday. What? Oh, oh, it's a little badger birthday today? Hi, Dan. Man Maytag is Dan. I even shaved my legs. Lee, this is going too far. You should get the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's what I think. Well, Badger, I'm going to have a little birthday song for you later on. I just want a few more people to get in here so that we can all celebrate your birthday together. Lee, I hope they compliment you on your sartorial taste. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Oh, man. I don't envy you. I don't think I would. I don't think well, I don't have a suit anymore. I don't have I don't have like work. Well, I mean, I have work clothes, but they're probably not real work clothes, not like corporate work clothes. So I probably I don't really have that. But oh my lord. Oh my god, what a world, what a life. What a life. But good morning to Wake and Bake with Lolo. I'm Lolo. Going to learn about the details of stainless steel. Gosh, I envy you. How do those magnets work? I don't know. J. Jill dress and sandals casual. Hell to the fucking yeah. Well, that's actually J. Jill was my go-to when I was in my mode. So I love that. I really do love that for you. It's so comfy. Thank you, J. Jill. Thank you for making clothes comfortable for women who wanted to just be, put together, but not overly like confined. I love that. Meowing Star, good morning. Happy birthday to Badger. Yeah, I'm going to sing happy birthday to her when a few more people arrive. Lee says, yeah. Yeah, I know, right? J. Jill is like the fucking bomb. That was like Eileen Fisher, but when you couldn't afford it. I used to do a lot of stuff with Eileen Fisher stores. I used to do a lot because we had a partnership when I was working in the after school program for girls. Eileen Fisher is actually very generous company and person. And so I would go around to the stores in different cities and do like fundraising events. So like a portion of all the sales made during the time that I was there would go to the to the after school program that I was helping with or that I was part of. And they were just lovely. Eileen Fisher people are absolutely lovely. Very strong women, very much a woman owned and run company. Or at least it was back then. I have no. Yeah, it was like but then I would always be like then they'd let me buy something at like wholesale And I'm like, hell yeah. I didn't buy much because I couldn't afford it. Even at wholesale, I couldn't afford it. But I did. Ooh, really? Textile designs for Eileen Fisher? She had amazing fabrics. She had really amazing fabrics. It was amazing. Yeah, I really liked those people were very nice. They were very, very nice. Good morning, Max. How are you, darling? Yeah, they were very sweet. Very focused on women's issues and stuff. I don't know. Those were good days. Those were good days. Hi, heckle images, heckle madges or heckle. I see heckle madges, but I think it's heckle images. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Autocorrect changed my car dealer spelling Fisher. Yes, I got you. I got your car dealer. Yes, I imagine she was. Oh my God, incredible! What an incredible. I mean, I went to. I tried to when I was early in my career, I tried to get into the Fashion Institute in San Francisco, and I mean, everybody can get in, but I couldn't afford it. I really wanted to go to fashion school, and I could not afford it. Yes, images. Okay, thank you. Heckle images. All right, I got it now. It's unlocked. Good morning. It's a weird day here at the lounge. So for those of you who don't know, I went to the doctor yesterday. I just have to go see a cardiologist and get an ultrasound of my heart, but we think everything's fine. Uh, the doctor is very. I have such a wonderful doctor. I really love her. Um, yeah. So she was like, let's be on the safe side and get an ultrasound and make sure it was whatever happened on Saturday wasn't related to the heart. I'm like, you know what? That sounds like a great idea, doc. Let's do it. So that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm sure it was just the spasm thing, right, Neil, that you said you've had that before too. So I just never have experienced it, and I would rather not deal with heart condition slash medicine slash death. I'd rather not deal with all that. We all have heart hurt these days. Good luck. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, no, I'm really glad because frankly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to deal with that. Sorry, God, I don't want to deal with that. Anyway, um, and let's see what else. What else? What else? Great stuff has happened. Well, really not much. I was watching a couple of Russian monitor things yesterday night, and they were depressing. I mean, the Russians are really, it's a very interesting approach. So they were talking a lot about the Alaska thing, the fact that they never should have sold Alaska to the Americans for 7.2 million. And isn't it ironic that now Putin will be meeting in Alaska? They just really think that they have Trump by the balls. Hi, Grace Lisa. Good morning. They all think that they've got Trump by the balls. That's what I mean, and this is, I take it with a grain of salt because I think the Russians obviously want to put forward whatever front, and it's very engineered positioning and framing. It's a very engineered in that way. So I don't necessarily trust, and I think that they go for the low hanging fruit of uh, you know poking at people and fucking with the Americans. Like there's all kinds of things. And I know a little bit about Russian history because I studied Russian language and literature in college. That was my degree. So I have some knowledge of Russian history, and I just you kind of understand a little bit in context of like Peter the Great and other notable leaders in the Russian Empire whom uh, Putin looks up to greatly, Peter the Great in particular, who wanted to make all, or who basically wanted all of, he Europeanized Moscow, Leningrad, well, St. Petersburg, He really brought Western, West or European style to and conventions into Russian life. So he was a very Western focused czar. Um, and so it's just, Putin has a lot of echoes of that, of wanting more. And on the Russian media, they said yesterday, first of all, they said that they were a little pissed that Trump referred to St. Petersburg as Leningrad. They were a little mad about that. Like how dare he, kind of thing. So I don't know. I mean, I just think it's very interesting. Boga niet. That's right. Boga niet. No God. Boga niet. Um, Someone with a membership post Boga niet emoji. Oh God, that's right. Where is it? I gotta find that. Hi, Carrie. How are ya? All right. So a lot of people are here. So I'm gonna say it is an incredibly special day here at the lounge. And that day is our friend Badger Badger Badger, the cutie Canuck, it's her birthday today. And so I'm going to sing a little ditty for my friend Badger, who's been here since the beginning. Badger also is an OG from the OG. She came in, we were friends on Twitter way back when. Years and years and years. So, Badger, I love you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dearest Badger. Happy birthday to you. I love you, Badge. Thanks for being such a good friend. You're a good one. You're a good egg, as they would say. So happy birthday to Badger. Yay! Badger's in the chat for Badger. Find the Badgers. So yeah, oh, happy birthday, babes. Mom's maiden name and last four of social, please, Badger. Yes, exactly. Now, to make the suite of information complete. Yay, look at all that love. Hi, Jane. How are you doing, darling? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. It's Badger's birthday and we're gonna have a party. Yeah, we're having a party on the lounge. One. Hi, Paul J. I hope you have a terrific day, Badge. I hope you eat cake. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. When the assholes get too much for you to handle. When you can't believe your eyes and all the scandal. Oh, I hope you shut off your computer. And if you think about it, maybe smoke a hooter. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Yeah, I hope you dance on their graves. There you go. There's a new version of I Hope You Dance just for you, Badge. I hope you eat some cake. I hesitate to ask you what your favorite kind of cake is because I don't know. That seems personal. That seems personal. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Slept great. Already had a plumber come up and go here. It was getting to no water. What? Quick fix though. A cylinder. A cylinder. LOL. I'm sure you're happy to know. maybe maybe retrograde effects is not lingering. No, please don't say that. I don't need any more. This weekend was crazy. People are insane. Can I just tell you that? People are insane. People are insane. The level of petty bullshit in this world is absolutely mind blowing. Mind blowing to me. Totally mind blowing. I hope you have good luck with your. Is Oomph keeping track? Because Oomph is keeping track, Carla. Tracker. Oh yeah, no, we've got all the information noted. He is the human database. Yeah, notice he's not here. Huh. Where is he? He's probably working. People are completely bonkers, including me. Yes, Carla. Hello, my darling Carla. I didn't even say a specific hello to you, my love. Good morning. Yeah, no, people are nuts. It's all fucking nuts. It's all fucking nuts. But anyways, let's see. Well, I've got some stuff to read. Good morning, Karen. How are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Let me make my things. Oh no, I have clips too. Oh yeah, I did. Now I figured out where my clips went. It's a funny story. Not really, but anyway, yeah, I have figured out where my clips went. Unfortunately, Dumpy McDumperson is speaking at 8 o'clock, and we probably will go ahead and. Oh, actually, I wanted to watch this. Wait. Oh shit. Why did I do that? No, clear it. I don't want to do that. Oh wait. Oh shit, man. God damn it. Stop. Okay, hold on. I'm coming back. I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Sometimes Rosie, I think of that song and just like, what? That's the weirdest song. Is that Nickelback or something? I don't even know. I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Okay, this is Marco Rubio participates in a signing ceremony, and guess what? It's for Paraguay. It's a Guay signing. That's what it is. How can you not be at this point? I know, right, Paul J? It'd be easier to list unfavorite cakes. Ah, there you go. LOL, Max lard icing cakes. Put that down as a non-favorite for me. Yeah, I don't think. Do they do that anymore? They don't do that, right? They don't do that. They don't do that. I don't think. Okay, here we go. I wanna hear little Marco Rubio. Little Marco Rubio. Little Marco Rubio. Oh. Uh-oh. Whoop. Okay.
Thank you all for being here. It's a great day to reaffirm the strong ties and bonds of cooperation, partnership, and alliance between the United States and
Look at that baby
and the
table.
government of Paraguay, the nation of Paraguay, that
The
I
government
visited as
of
a senator
Paraguay.
just a couple of months ago, and we talked quite a bit and interact, and this is just another example of cooperation and the ability to work together to prevent something that we
Ooh,
both countries are
coffee
very
shot
concerned
cake.
about,
That
and
sounds
is
really
illegal and
good.
irregular migration,
That
which
sounds
poses a
really.
national security
Neil, what
threat.
did Neil
And
say?
so the ability to work together on this
Strawberry
partnership
anchovy is my
extraordinary.
least
I want to
favorite
thank the
cake.
Foreign Minister for being here today. I want to thank my friend, the President, iba a decir Santi, but I was going to say President Peña, who's a great, strong partner and ally of the United States, and
Yeah,
we're very happy to be
sure he
signing this
is.
here today, along with our partners from the Department of Homeland Security. Brevemente en
So what's this
español, quiero
about?
darle las gracias al ministro por estar aquí, con el canciller por estar con nosotros en el día de hoy y poder celebrar lo que ya existe, una alianza, una amistad muy fuerte entre
I
no
am glad
solamente
he
los
can speak
gobiernos
Spanish.
de Paraguay y Estados Unidos, sino entre los pueblos de Estados
Neil.
Unidos y Paraguay, lo cual cooperamos con tantos temas y vamos a cooperar en muchos temas más. Las oportunidades
Are you
económicas
making
que
fun of me?
existen son enormes, pero hoy estamos aquí para poner en escrito nuestra cooperación sobre qué es la inmigración irregular, la inmigración ilegal, que si es abusado obviamente es algo que puede causar problemas
Okay,
de
this is
seguridad
an
nacional para ambos
MOU
países. Así que hoy estamos aquí
for
para
cooperation in
firmar
the
estos acuerdos,
examination of
que es un
protection
punto más
requests.
en lo que es una alianza y una amistad muy fuerte,
What's
un enlace
protection
muy fuerte que
requests?
existe
What is
entre
that?
nuestros
What the
países,
fuck is a
nuestros
protection
gobiernos y nuestros
request?
pueblos. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary.
What is it called?
You are a
Protection?
very close friend of our
Examine
government, of our
protection
country.
request.
You have been the only one after 50 years as a senator visiting Paraguay, and that represents
He's not a senator.
alliance that we are developing. Today, this agreement represents our deep engagement with our government to work not only on migration program, but also in security. We are working on trade, we are working on as well as on investment. We are working in security cooperation, and that represents the huge agenda. The bilateral agenda, it means the diversified and the alliance that we have as a Paraguay government with the United States government, and personally with you, Secretary, is amazing to work and to cooperate with all your staff here as well. Really, it's a pleasure to be. Thank you for hosting us for this meeting. And the Homeland Security Secretary, really, we appreciate very much this agreement that represents the opportunity to work in several issues. We were discussing about the visa waiver. We are discussing about our common and shared values and principles: democracy, freedom, human rights, rule of law, that represent our principles and values shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. First of all, Mr. Ramirez and Secretary Rubio, thank you so much for the diplomacy, being able to help us. You know, Secretary Nome and myself been very focused on establishing safe third country agreements within Latin America, South America, and even in Africa. So this has been a big step for us. We're very appreciative of the opportunity to be able to work with you. Like you said, we did talk a little bit kind of behind the scenes about the visa waiver program and some of the different programs that are out there where we work together. And we are very much appreciative of everything that Paraguay is doing. We look at Paraguay as a law enforcement and border security partner. You guys have been a great partner, and this is a great step. You know, the American asylum system is one that has been significantly abused in the previous administration. And being able to sign an agreement like this really starts to loosen the burden within Homeland Security and our ability to be able to process and provide the asylum process to people that are actually deserving of it and go through the process. So we just want to thank you for what you're doing. We want to thank you for your partnership. Secretary, we just think everything that you do and with your team, we were always appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you both. I also want to thank your staff and the team at Homeland Security for putting this together, and our team here at the State Department, and your team. Without your team, we couldn't do that. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, well,
Let's sign. What the hell?
Es siempre un placer poder hablar con el secretario Rubio en español.
I don't even see what the details of this are.
Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security Edgar and Foreign Minister Ramirez are signing a memorandum of understanding for the cooperation in the examination of protection requests. This memorandum will further our cooperation to deter illegal immigration and promote hemispheric security.
But what's involved in this agreement? He does have large ears. It's true. They're not well proportioned to his head. Make sure you sign on the proper line, Marco. Do I sign this one? Wait, do I sign that one? What do you think? Wow, I didn't think it was him at first. I know, he looks like a Pokemon. That's because he looks like a Pokemon. That's why you didn't recognize him. Got his Pokemon outfit today. Yeah, so I don't know what's involved in this protection request. Like, what's the agreement? What are we going to do? I don't get it. Mario. Ugh. Oh, hope you didn't fart. Oh, pull your jacket down, sir. Pull your jacket down. Pull your jacket down, sir. It's up on your butt. Your butt is showing. Oh my God. Nobody can dress themselves.
Secretario, en este contexto de seguridad, ¿qué implicaciones tiene el despliegue de fuerzas navales en el Caribe contra los cárteles de la droga?
bueno, la droga es una amenaza a la seguridad nacional de Estados Unidos. Y obviamente estos son grupos que están operando con impunidad.
I can guarantee you he's not saying anything that we need to know.
Simplemente exportando a Estados Unidos veneno. Que
I can guarantee that.
Que están destruyendo comunidades. Así que es un tema muy
Yay!
serio. Y
Hell
tenemos
yeah, Paul. That's
muchos
right.
países que
Let's
cooperan
go to
con nosotros en ese
Spokane.
esfuerzo y algunos desafortunadamente que no.
incluido el cartel de los soles de Nicolás Maduro, secretario.
El Cartel de los Soles es una de las organizaciones criminales más amplias que existe en el hemisferio, que
I really
desafortunadamente
want
no
to
se le
know
ha
what's
prestado
in this.
suficiente atención. Es un cartel que hoy en día está encauzado en las Cortes Federales de Estados Unidos. No es un gobierno, el régimen de Maduro no es un gobierno, es una organización criminal. The question
Bush family
in
owns
English is
bug-out
just
property in
asking about
Paraguay.
whether US
Really?
forces will be involved
Still?
in the Western Hemisphere going
Navarro
after drug
started the
traffickers and
power
drug trafficking
slob look
networks.
with his
There are
busted
designated
shoes. Yeah, well, he's
narco-terrorist
just a
groups operating
slob.
in the region. Some of them
He's a definite
utilizing
slob. Oh, good morning,
international
New.
airspace, international waters to transit poison into the United States. And those groups will be confronted. The president's made that clear from the time he operated. In specific, the question was about the Cartel of the Suns, the Cartel de los Soles, which is a criminal organization that happens to masquerade as a government. The Maduro regime is not a government. It's not a legitimate government. We've never recognized them as such.
Why is he so
They
mad
are
at
a criminal
Maduro? I don't
enterprise
get.
that
I don't
basically
really
has taken
remember.
control of
Why are
national
we mad at
territory
Maduro?
of a country.
I mean,
And
I'm
by
not
the way,
saying
are
we
also
shouldn't be.
threatening U.S. oil companies that are operating
Can you
lawfully
pull over?
in
I have to
Guyana.
pee. Yeah, Carla
So,
has to pee.
The
Paul
president's
J.
been very firm. Anything that's a threat to the national security of the United States, he's going to confront.
After a shower.
And, but obviously, I have
More
nothing
coffee.
further to add to that at this point. Thank you. Yes, one more.
How are the preparations for the Putin meeting?
That's why I take back.
They're going very fast.
He knows
This is
his
put
crowd.
together very quickly, and it's in Alaska, so we've got to get there. We'll see how tomorrow plays out. As the president said, his hope is to interact with Mr. Putin tomorrow and sort of get a sense very quickly and early whether a peace is possible or not. The president's spoken to him, I believe, 4 times by phone. I felt it was important to now speak to him in
4
person.
times?
And look him in the eye and figure out what was possible and what isn't. This is the president of peace. He wants that war to
Oh,
end.
stop.
He's going to do everything he possibly can. And if he sees an
Stop.
opportunity
Oh,
to
Marco,
talk
you
about
are going to be
achieving
in
peace, he's gonna
such
pursue
trouble
it.
after this
And
all
we'll know
falls
tomorrow
apart.
At some point, as the president said, probably very early in that meeting, whether
Mine
something is
too.
possible or not. We hope it is.
Sobre Miguel Uribe, que acaba de ser enterrado en Colombia, no sé si le preocupa el aumento de la criminalidad o de la violencia política en este país, en Colombia.
En Colombia,
Sí.
sí, bueno, es muy lamentable lo que hemos visto con la muerte del senador Uribe, que es una cosa muy trágica. Y obviamente
Right,
nos
he's
preocupa la
connected to the
la
drug
violencia política en
trade,
cualquier
Dan,
país,
but
un país como Colombia, que
so
ha-
are other people
ha
that they
tenido
like.
que
Yeah.
sobrevivir tantas épocas tan difíciles que
I
había
guess I'm just
progresado
wondering,
tanto,
what's so
que se
special
encuentra en
about
un momento como este.
Maduro?
Obviamente nos unimos al pueblo de Colombia y a los esfuerzos de sus instituciones que tanto han hecho para lograr lo que se pudo lograr en Colombia y que lo que no se puede perder. I'm sorry.
Secretary, do you think that Ukraine is prepared to cede any lands that are currently in its control, or are we looking at more a return of potentially Russian forces from the current front line of the war?
Well, to achieve a peace, I think we all recognize that there'll have to be some conversation about security guarantees. There'll have to be some conversation
I
about,
think it's a Gatorade bottle.
territorial disputes and claims and what they're fighting over. All these things will be part of a comprehensive thing. But I think the president's hope is to achieve some stoppage of fighting so that those conversations can
Yeah,
happen.
Mexico
Sometimes
is
technical things
delivering,
that take
what,
some time to work out.
26
So,
cartel
to have a peace
people.
agreement between Ukraine and Russia, you will need agreement from both Ukraine and Russia. And this war's been going on for 3.5 years now. It was a war that started under the previous administration.
Oh,
The
stop.
president's inherited that, and he's trying to do now what he can to bring it to an end. But obviously, the longer these wars go on, the harder they are to end. And even as I speak, even as we talk here now, there are changes happening in the battlefield which have an impact on what one side views as leverage or
What are you
the other.
talking about?
So that's the reality of ongoing fighting, which is why
What's
the
he
ceasefire
talking
is so
about?
critical. That's been our
That's what I'm,
proposal from
yes,
Jeddah
thank
when
you,
we left for
Dan.
Saudi
That's what
Arabia.
yeah, I'm
But
like,
we'll
what
see
has
what's
Maduro
possible
done that
tomorrow. Let's see how the talks go.
hurt
We're
Trump's
hopeful.
feelings?
We want there to be a peace. We're going to do everything we can to achieve one, but ultimately it'll be up to Ukraine and Russia to agree to one. Okay? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, well, why isn't Ukraine at the table then? You stupid shit. Well, it's a little hard for Ukraine to do that when they're not at the actual fucking table, bitch. Oh my god, these guys are so dumb. Anyway, let's see. Grace Lisa, good morning. Didn't Dumpy? Yes, he did. There's 26 cartel members. Venezuela is Russia's most important trading and military ally in Latin America. That's true? Is that true? I mean, I guess I just don't know. I should probably educate myself. Bus driver, everyman, dictator. It shows dictatorship can be for the people. Oh. I mean, what's going on in Venezuela? Are people like, is it bad? I need to learn. Okay, I'm just gonna learn. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm gonna sound like a fucking idiot soon. Good morning, gal. Good morning. We were just watching Little Marco. Little Marco, Little Marco. Good morning. I'm just listening. Hands are occupied. No problem. Butterflies are free. We got you. Just to let you know, it is Badger's birthday today. And we already sang happy birthday, but you're free to sing it again. La 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 la. Wah 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 wah. Let's see. I had a bunch of claps. The pace about to blow. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just looking and see if there's anything new and interesting. New and interesting. No, there's not. It's all the same old shit every day. Okay, hold on. Beep. Ma, moop. Where's my... What? No. Oh, there. Sorry. All right. Sort by date added. Okay. Let's see. What do I got? Let's see. I've got some clips this morning. I've got, let's see, Congressman Shocks. I don't know what that is. Oh, God. Okay. I have to play for you a little bit of a... I'm going away. I'm traitoring. Happy birthday, Banja, Banja. Banja, Banja. Go away. Go away. Okay, I wanted to show you this. Hold on. Don't say anything. Okay, apparently this was this was 2 days ago. I'm way behind. But apparently this lady was a little drunk during her interview on Fox News the other day. And this is a legit interview that she's doing on Fox 5 in Washington, right? So the local Fox affiliate. And let's see. Oh. And so, let's just let you tell me if you think she's had a little too much Franzia. Let me put the wine box up there so that you can, get the full effect. Okay. So just like, I don't know.
Money. It's about your connection to the community. It is constitutional. It's in the 8th Amendment. It is presumed to be a part of the justice system. And all of a sudden, because of Democrats, people think, oh, there's something inherently wrong with it. They're wrong. When people are committing 7 and 8 crimes and get away with it, and now they're emboldened to commit more crimes and basically saying, come after me, you're not going to do anything to me, then it's time to rethink this cashless bail nonsense. I've been in criminal justice for 3 decades as a prosecutor, a judge, and a DA.
And a TV show host.
I know that the message being sent is one of, don't worry about it, we're not going to hold you.
You've been in this sphere, as you say, for 3 decades. This move is about protecting law enforcement, enabling law enforcement, helping them do their job. There are some members of law enforcement who see that today is a little bit hypocritical given the president's sweeping pardons of individuals who not just assaulted police officers, but injured them on day one. How is this not a mixed message?
Look, I think the message is very clear. So far this year, I am prosecuting 300 individuals for assaults on police officers. That's what I'm here to do.
Wait, you've only been in the job for like a couple weeks. It's like she can't not shout. Yeah, I know. You have a felon right in your midst, lady.
That's what I will continue to do. And the police need to understand that I have their back. And today is about making sure that the police are supported with the National Guard, with the Park Police, with DEA, with ATF, with FBI to protect all of us. That's who we are, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
what about those officers who feel like the people who injured them are
Look, I'm not here to satisfy people's feelings if they feel bad. I'm here to prosecute crime.
And looking at law enforcement now and how this is actually going to work, do you know if the National Guard is going to have a station in Southeast where we see a majority of the violent crimes?
I think right now that's being left up to, what's his name?
The director of the Army.
No, it's not Dan. It's not Dan. It's the new guy who's running the marshals.
Oh, Gaddy.
Gaddy?
Gaddy.
Is that his first or last name?
First name.
This is an interview.
Yeah, Gaddy's the guy who's running it.
Okay.
What is the U.S. Marshal's title?
Serralta. It's director of the U.S. Marshals, and it's Gaddy S. Serralta.
Okay.
How do you spell the last name?
Serralta.
Yeah.
ASVA?
Serralta.
I mean, this is a real interview.
Oh, Serralta, right. Okay. So the head of the U.S. Marshals, Gaddy Serralta, will determine where they're going to be located.
Does she think this is going to be edited?
A show of force everywhere,
Wait.
especially in areas where there has been high crime.
Did she expect this to be edited? Is that why she got all like fourth wall on us? Like, does she expect it to be edited? Is that what it was? I know. I can't. Yeah, these people are in charge of running our country. Why do I get this feeling she has a monkey tail? I don't know, but you should check her liver. That's for sure. I mean, I had to stop drinking when I was 40 because my body was about to give out. So this crone must have like a liver of steel. Maybe she drinks adrenochrome to make her liver better. I don't know.
Previously,
I don't know her life.
especially in areas where young people know they're not going to be arrested because they're too young and where they feel free to commit crime.
You know, those damn children not understanding everything about the criminal justice system. Everything. Oh, I wish I could like make the box like shift by an angle, but I can't do that on my. I mean, I suppose I could, but I don't know what the command is for that. A lot of people that drink get so nasty. She is nasty. Yeah, Grace Lisa. She's totally nasty. Anyway, I just wanted to see her like complete
I think that
breakdown.
the fear is a very important message
God,
here.
can you imagine
in terms
working
of
for her?
Deterrence.
I
If
cannot
you don't
imagine
think
working
anyone's
for her.
coming after you, then you're not worried about it. But now, when they see this strong federal, deployment of force, I think it's going to be a very different message.
You mentioned being down 90.
Yeah, the message is going to be, you're fucked, okay? And don't step out of line and don't piss me off and don't film. You know, all the things that typically you can do with like city police and things like that, ask for badge numbers, film their actions, etc. The federales don't want you to film. In fact, they will point a gun at your face if you film them. They will point a gun at your face if you film their cars. It is a completely different policing than even the already over-militarized and fuckwad police that we have in our cities. I know. Every time you want a beer, just think about her. I had another chit-chat with Grok if you're interested. Hell yeah, always. Always. Anyway, so that's enough of her, but you get the point. You get the point. Let's see. I want to do oh yeah, this one too. This is a good one.
Attorney for D.C. Janine Pirro reacts to a viral confrontation with law enforcement in Northwest D.C. You might have seen this already on your feed. Officials say a man aggressively approached a federal officer, yelling, cursing, and berating him before throwing a sandwich and hitting that officer in the chest. And you can see he booked it, ran away from there. The man was arrested at the scene and will be charged with assault on a police officer. Pirro is using this video as a warning to the public about attacking law enforcement.
An individual went up to one of the federal law enforcement officers and started jumping up and down.
Look at that suit. What is that? Did she roll around in black ink or something? Is that a cow suit? This woman is insane. Yeah, what kind of goddamn outfit is that? That is so ugly. And what is the skinny jeans? She's got that. I'm sorry. I live in LA. I know what's what. She's got that weird little I'm too skinny. I'm thin, but I take Ozempic so that I can have skinny little twigs for legs. The fuck?
Screaming at him, berating him, yelling at him.
I hope the
and then he
sandwich
took
had
a
onions on
Subway
it too.
sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't
Subway
think it's
sandwich.
funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police officer, and we're going to back the police to the hilt. So there, stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else.
Okay, so let me get this straight. This woman is going to charge that guy with a felony for throwing a sandwich at an officer and is like celebrating it like it's like it's just like it's a joke. Giving him a felony as if it's a joke. You know, flexing muscle, that is so fucking autocratic. Like, I'm going to flex my muscle on you, mister, because I can. Not because it should happen. Not because of the gravitas of law. No, I'm going to do it because I'm a petty bitch. I'm going to make an example. I don't think we are supposed to make examples of people. Especially when you wield the power that this cunt hag does. I don't know when the payback is. I don't know when the karma is. But I can't, I don't, I don't know when people get on the street during the week. Like, I've got to leave my job on the street. You know what I mean? I'm sure we get to that point eventually. But right now, and I'm as guilty as anyone. I'm not as much on the street as I want to be, and I think that I don't know when the point is when we actually all get on the street. Like, you stop working because you've got to be in the street, right? Like, I feel like that's a level. That's like a level. Or a red line that you get to a point where you're like, no, my daily life can't go on as if as it has. I have to speak out or do something. I don't know when that happens in this country, but I hope it's soon. I really do. I hope it's soon because I think that the larger the protests are, I feel like that will have at least a second thought. I feel like the protests in LA and the court cases, you know, that told them to remove the military and things like that. I just feel like that resistance is so important. And I know everybody feels it, but I just don't know. And I'm not even judging. I'm just saying, what's the point at which when people say, I can't do my normal day-to-day things, I've got to, whatever. I don't know when that is. And I don't know if that ever happens, but I feel like that does sometimes in other countries. So I'm not sure, I think this country is very comfortable right now within a very autocratic regime. Maybe when the prices, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. They're not serious people. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see what Gal asked Grok today. What did we ask our robot friends today? What did our robot friends say to us? Oh my gosh. Hold on. Big noise. Okay. Trying to get that buzz out from behind me. Yeah, yeah. Grok. Whoops. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bigger. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I got to get the wine box off there. Damn. Wine box, you're in the way. Good morning, Jay Rance. Hello. Running around, so I'll be in and out watching replay. Can't wait for Gavin's speech. I know. That's at 11 today. Hi, Josh. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, here we go. Grok, remind me, when did Tim Pool get invited to the White House new media section and ask his beanie-topped questions? Does Grok understand that sarcasm? I don't know. Was that before or after the indictment revealed that millions of dollars funneled to U.S.-based propagandists from the Kremlin? What about Benny Johnson? I bet some people, mamas, will be outraged if Ghislaine is completely freed. That's an interesting point, Jane. Kayak classes would be great. Are you taking kayak classes? Last night, guest on Fox was for Bring Back Paddling. Oh, yeah, actually. Yeah, could we teach kids how to ride a kayak? Actually, that would be good. That's a good skill. You got to read the original inquiry. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Grok, explain to MAGA how the techniques in the Handbook of Russian Information Warfare have been used by General Flynn, Steve Bannon, and other MAGA creators to get them believe lies that will destroy democracy. Hey, Siri. The Handbook of Russian Information, Grok says, NATO 2016, details tactics like fire hose of falsehoods, reflexive control, manipulating decisions, and amplifying societal divisions to undermine trust. Flynn echoed these by spreading election fraud myths, sowing institutional distrust akin to Russian ops. Yeah, Gal on AI is very good. Yeah, she's really feeding it some good stuff. Bannon's fled the zone with shit strategy mirrors the fire hose, polarizing via misinformation on his platforms. That's right. I can't believe if we address the disinfo, I think that's going to go a long way in getting our democracy back. Other MAGA influencers, per DOJ indictments, amplified Russian-funded propaganda on immigration and elections, tricking supporters into beliefs that erode democracy's foundations. Wake up. It's manipulation, not truth. That's Grok. Expand your explanation to other MAGA leaders and influencers. Expanding. Trump employs fire hose tactics, repeating 2020 election fraud lies to erode institutional trust. MTG spreads divisive QAnon conspiracies, exploiting societal rifts. Alex Jones buries truth in Infowar dross. Dross, what a great word. Promoting hoaxes like Sandy Hook. Tucker Carlson amplifies Russian-friendly Ukraine narratives, aiding reflexive control. Per DOJ indictments, influencers like Tim Pool and Benny Johnson unwittingly spread unwittingly spread RT-funded propaganda via tenant media, amplifying divisions on immigration and inflation. These align with Russian handbook's disinformation and subversion methods, recognize the manipulation. Continue to expand. Further expansion. Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, uses fire hose tactics, flooding with anti-woke misinformation to polarize youth, echoing Russian division strategies. Candace Owen spreads anti-vax and election conspiracies, manipulating perceptions via reflexive control. Roger Stone displays rat-fucking ops, akin to subversion to undermine opponents. Per FBI reports, these align with Russian efforts to erode U.S. democratic norms. See the pattern? It's engineered chaos. Wow, Grok. What a crazy. Further expansion. Mike Lindell floods with baseless election fraud claims via MyPillow ads and films, mirroring those fire hose tactics to erode trust in voting systems. Sidney Powell pushed all the old favorites, pushed Kraken lawsuits with fabricated evidence, enabling reflexive control over supporters' beliefs. Laura Loomer amplifies anti-immigrant conspiracies, deepening divisions per Russian playbook. DOJ reports confirm such influencers spread RT-funded propaganda. Break free. That's ridiculous. Fuck you, Grok. Rudy Giuliani spread 2020 election lies via press conferences and podcast using fire hose tactics to undermine trust, per Mueller report echoes. Dan Bingo Bongo amplifies conspiracies on Rumble, polarizing audiences like Russian division strategies. Jack Pussy Bitch promotes deep state hoaxes, enabling reflexive control. This is a good list. This is a good list. FBI DOJ docs link these to foreign influence ops. See the playbook, reject the deception. Explain to MAGA how learning to use Boolean operators in their research will allow them to detect manipulation, and how Boolean operators increase the accuracy of information they obtain. Boolean operators and or not refine searches for precision, use election fraud and fact check to cross-reference claims against verified sources, exposing manipulations like amplified lies, or broadens vaccine safety or COVID myths for diverse views. Not excludes bias, border crisis, not Fox News. This boosts accuracy by filtering noise, revealing balanced facts over propaganda. Empower your research, question narratives. That's cool. Explain what Boolean operators are and how to use them. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Boolean operators are search tools and requires both terms, e.g., for example, election fraud and evidence for precise results, or includes either, example, MAGA or Trump for broader info, not excludes, for example, climate change, not hoax to filter bias. Use them in Google or databases to refine queries, uncover facts, and spot manipulation by cross-checking sources. Practice vaccine safety and studies, not conspiracy. Oh, this is cool. I didn't even know that. I mean, I've heard of Booleans, but I didn't even know. Is the link above? Yes. It's the last link that Gal dropped. It's James Love's thread, and then I'm going to go to her thread. I'm a big fan of Boolean searches. Hell yeah. I'm attaching a copy. I'm in my article on sophistry posted on Substack explaining this deception accurate. I am attaching a copy. Okay. And I think that's it for his. Oh, yes. Your Substack article accurately describes sophistry as deceptive rhetoric, mixing truth with lies to manipulate trust and emotions, aligning with disinformation tactics. I'm telling you, it's the disinformation. It effectively ties this to political power grabs, echoing elements of Russian methods like reflexive control through induced misperceptions. Solid analysis. Keep refining. Refine. Refined analysis. Your article aptly defines sophistry as 98% truth laced with 2% deception to exploit trust and emotions, linking it to MAGA divisions via amplified issues like immigration and corruption. To strengthen, add cited examples. For example, specific Trump-era claims, and Boolean search tips for verification. Ties well to reflexive control. Solid, but source DOJ reports for credibility. Keep honing. Thank you, Grok. Absolutely. Woo. Now going to Gal's. Grok, remind me. When did Tim Pool get invited to the new media section and ask his beanie top questions? Was that before or after the indictment revealed the millions of dollars funneled to U.S.-based propagandists from the Kremlin? What about Benny Johnson? And have either of those named changed their methods or ideological stance about Ukraine since pretending to be shocked to find out they were being paid to tell lies for the benefit of one of America's foreign adversaries? Also, did I just describe a crime? Is it illegal to be paid by a foreign adversary to propagandize Americans to benefit a country waging a war against their territorial neighbors and committing war crimes and kidnapping children? Seems illegal. Let's see. Tim Pool attended a White House briefing on April 22nd, 2025, after the September 2024 DOJ indictment revealing RT's $10 million payments to Tenet Media. Benny Johnson attended on August 12th, 2025, also after. Neither has materially changed the methods or Ukraine stance. Pool remains anti-funding, for example, April posts questioning aid. Johnson continues conservative commentary without evident shifts. Knowingly accepting foreign adversary payments for propaganda violates FARA, must register as an agent, and money laundering laws if covert. DOJ charged RT staff, not the unwitting influencers. What? That money was returned. None of that money was returned. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I like that. Thank you, gal. Thank you, gal. Thank you, gal. I know. What? Oh, everything is upside down. I agree, Dan. I agree. Boolean logic. Yeah, I know. I love stuff like that too. Let's see. Isn't Lauren Southern being charged in relation to Tenet, at least in Canada? That's a good point. That's right. Rebel Media? Is it Rebel Media or is it just Lauren? Mm, 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 mm. Hmm? Let me see. 2 days ago, right wing influencer. I wonder if this is. Can I read this? Yeah, they're going to let me read this. Okay. Well, let's find out what happened to. Is Michelle Goldberg someone we trust? I can't even remember. I think so. This is an open from the New York Times. It's an opinion piece. Bayesian Enlightenment. Is that how you say that? Everything is broken. I'm pretty good at Googling for someone my age, but I'm going to find a YouTube video to teach me the proper Boolean. I know. I think it's really, I haven't really thought about it in that way. This is why education is such an important thing. Microchip got continued protection from a judge. The other day, he started QAnon and, hi, Clark, and was behind most of the rat fucking ops last decade. Yeah, I didn't really get that whole microchip thing, to be honest. I think I'm just not as savvy on the internet. I'm not savvy on the internet. No, I'm not. All right, a right-wing influencer tried to be a trad wife. It almost broke her. I don't know what this is going to be about, but let's just see what it's about. It's about Lauren Southern. Okay, here we go. Lauren Southern, one of the most well-known right-wing influencers during Donald Trump's first term, went viral with a 2015 video titled, "Why I Am Not a Feminist." Then 19, beautiful and blonde, Southern argued that women are advantaged in many areas of life, including child custody disputes and escaping abusive relationships. Feminists are unintentionally creating a world of reverse sexism that I don't want to be a part of, she said. But being an anti-feminist, it turns out, is no shield against abusive male power. Southern's new self-published memoir, This Is Not Real Life, is the story of conservative ideology colliding with reality. It's made headlines for her claim that Andrew Tate, an unrepentant online misogynist accused of human trafficking, sexually assaulted her in Romania in 2018. Tate has denied this. The book is particularly revealing, though, for its depiction of Southern's painful attempts to contort herself into an archetypal trad wife, an effort that left her almost suicidal. Her story should be a cautionary tale for the young women who aspire to the domestic life she once evangelized for. Also, don't be a Russian agent. How about that? I don't know. Despite the presence of a few high-profile women in Trump's admin, the right is increasingly trying to drive women out of public life. Some of this push comes from the unabashed patriarchs atop the Republican Party. Last week, Defense Secretary Pete Pigsbreath reposted a video in which leaders of his Christian denomination said that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. We watched that. All of Christ for all of life, wrote Hegseth. But there are also female influencers who present housewifery as the ultimate in wellness, an escape from the soulless grind of the workplace. Less Prozac, more protein. The podcast host Alex Clark told thousands of listeners at a conservative women's conference in June, less burnout, more babies. Less feminism, more femininity. Clark is unmarried and has no children. I missed up Lauren Chen, a founder of Tenet. Oh, sorry. Well, okay. I'm sorry. I should have known that. Meowing Star. Well, we're going to read about Lauren Southern first. There's too many Laurens. This Instagram-inflected traditionalism is taking hold at a time when the workplace is becoming even less friendly to women. As the Washington Post reported on Monday, large numbers of mothers have left the workforce this year. Is that true? I didn't even read that. Many have been driven out by return-to-office mandates and a backlash against diversity policies that's led to hostile working environments. No, really? Southern was also paid by Tenet. Oh, good. I thought I connected her to Rebel. Is this your first year of law school, Cal? Many have been driven out by return to office mandates. Oh, sorry. But some, according to the Post, say they are giving up jobs happily in line with MAGA culture and the rise of the traditional wife. I know there's too many Laurens. Too many dicks on the dance floor. Southern had more reason than most to want to retreat into the cult of domesticity. As she recounts in her memoir, her anti-feminist video helped propel her to international notoriety, and soon she was traveling the world as an avatar of irreverent online reaction. She gave out flyers saying Allah is a gay god, and in a Muslim neighborhood in England, popularized the idea that there's a white genocide in South Africa, and interviewed the reactionary philosopher Alexander Dugin on a trip to Moscow, seemingly arranged by shadowy Russian interests. Duh. It was during this phase of her life that she said she was assaulted by Tate, who was just beginning to build his global brand. Her politics made the trauma particularly hard to process. It wouldn't be very helpful to the cause, or my career for that matter, for me to become exactly what I criticized, wrote Southern, a victim. After her encounter with Tate, she wrote, her life unraveled. She yearned to escape her own infamy and the need to keep shoveling more outrageous content into the internet's insatiable maw. So when she met a man who wanted to settle down, she jumped at the chance and to give up her career and become a stay-at-home wife and mother. She posted photos of herself baking and selfies in the mirror showing how quickly I had bounced back to fitness and health after pregnancy. Reactionary philosopher, yeah. But in reality, she wrote, her life was hell. I think it's just a reactionary asshole. How about that? That's the term I would use personally, but what do I know? Her life was hell. She'd moved with her husband from Canada, where she'd grown up, to his native Australia, where she lived in near total isolation. I'm not really caring. Her husband treated her with growing contempt, which she responded to by trying to be an even better wife. I threw myself tenfold into trying to be the perfect partner. Cooking, cleaning, putting on dresses and high heels to welcome him home, she wrote. But it didn't work. She said her husband berated her, stayed out until late at night, and constantly threatened to divorce her if she didn't obey him. Well, I mean, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Not that any woman should stay in an abusive relationship, but get on a fucking plane. What's wrong with you? Sorry. That's not right. I don't mean to say that. I just don't like her. How about that? Yeah, it looks like she picked the wrong guy. Eventually, she wrote, when she defied him by traveling to Canada to visit her family, he told her the marriage was over. By then, she'd said she turned over much of her savings to him. She and her son had to move in with her parents. Oh. Then into a small, cheap cabin in the woods. Give me a fucking break. Give me a motherfucking break. Oh my God. She was destitute, full of shame and intellectually adrift. I don't think she was destitute. What are you, her fucking PR agent? As she told the conservative journalist Mary Harrington last year when she first went public about her experience with trad life, my brain was breaking between two worlds because I couldn't let go of the ideology. Southern's book is not an attempt at liberal redemption, though she claims she's lost interest in politics. She doesn't renounce the ugly nativist views that help build her audience. She doesn't apologize for, say, trying to block a boat that rescued drowning migrants in the Mediterranean. But while she's not a particularly sympathetic figure, that might make her criticism of trad culture more credible, because it's hard to see a professional motive in a book that's likely to annoy every political faction. Every few decades, it seems, America is fated to endure a new spasm of pseudo-traditionalism, with women encouraged to seek shelter from a brutal world in homemaking. The lionization of the housewife in the 50s came after women were pushed out of their World War II-era jobs. During the 1980s, as Susan Faludi wrote in her classic Backlash, women were bombarded with media messages telling them true freedom lay in marriage and motherhood. In 2003, the New York Times Magazine heralded the opt-out revolution, a part of a wave of media about elite women stepping back from hard-charging careers. I'm sure some women are happy renouncing their ambitions to care for husbands and children, but often women who give in to a gender retrenchment come to regret it. A decade after the opt-out revolution, Times Magazine headline read, "The opt-out generation wants back in." In her 2007 book, The Feminine Mistake, Leslie Bennett wrote, I couldn't possibly count the number of women I've interviewed who thought they could depend on a husband to support them, but who ultimately found themselves alone and unprepared to take care of themselves and their children. It seems particularly dangerous to tie one's fate to a man who is part of an internet subculture obsessed with female submission. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why that's funny. I don't know what could go wrong. What could go wrong? I guess everything. Okay. Unfortunately, the women who most need to hear this message probably won't listen to middle-aged feminists. They'll have to wait for it to play out in their own lives or curated lives on the screen. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm not a huge fan of this reporter. What's her name? Michelle Goldberg. I'm just not a fan of Michelle Goldberg. I think she's kind of a dork. I don't find her writing to be very good, and this one is equally disappointing. But whatever. I don't know. The fact that the one piece in that article, right, in the one piece of the article where it outlines one of her shitty acts, where she tried to cause the death of migrants. I'm sorry. No, this is stupid. Yeah, I know she is. Yeah, she's on MSNBC a lot. I just don't like her. And now I really don't like her because I think this was the stupidest opinion piece I've read in a long time. And that's saying something. That's what I think. Okay. But Lauren Chen, let's see what happened to Lauren Chen. Now we'll go to the other Lauren. It's the Lauren show. Wait, what? I don't have any news on her. Like recent news. Do 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 do. The Republican vest trend is the latest style movement. I'm just gonna pull this up because now I'm kind of like, wait. I won't. I'm not gonna read that. Forget it. Okay, this is a September 2024 article from NBC News. How Lauren Chen went from alt-light, oh, is that a thing? To YouTuber to alleged Russian asset. Let's see. Slumming it. She's slumming it. She's one of the commentators that switch my ears off. And let's see. Larry Loomer has moved from attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene to attacking Lindsey Graham. This should be interesting. I hope so. Lindsey Graham could use a couple of. Did you hear the clip of Stephen Miller's wife podcast about Vance? How Stephen only eats mayo? No, I didn't actually. I haven't pulled up a video on Stephen Miller's wife. I know her podcast is ridiculous. I did see a little promo piece for her podcast, and it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Okay, so long before she allegedly aided a Russian propaganda operation, Chen built an audience posting right-wing videos under the name Roaming Millennial. Lauren Chen brings people. Oh, this is Brandy's. Brandy's does good work. Brandy Zadrozny. This is from September of 2024. Lauren Chen brings people together. When the Russians were on the hunt for American influencers to produce propaganda, they hired a conservative YouTuber to scout for stars, according to the Department of Justice. And Chen, unnamed by the DOJ but identified by NBC News from business records, delivered. She connected employees of the Russian state media operation RT with unwitting right-wing... Unwitting. This is really fucking awful. Right-wing content creators and their millions of followers, according to a federal indictment unsealed last week. Chen, co-owner with her husband, producer Liam Donovan of Tenet Media, an online collective of pro-Trump creators, negotiated a series of lucrative deals with high-profile influencers to pump out online videos in what turned out to be a nearly $10 million covert Russian propaganda campaign, the DOJ alleged. The DOJ did not name Tenet Media, but NBC News identified the company based on its description in the indictment. Persons without wit are also unwitting. Yes, that's true. Unlike the influencers alleged to have been victims of RT and Tenet Media who denied knowing they were working for Russia, Chen has said nothing since the indictment made news. Chen, who is referred to as Founder One in the indictment, did not respond to a request for comment. She's not been charged with a crime. Oh, well, that's convenient. Years before she would allegedly recruit famous conservative influencers for Russia's propaganda operation, including Dave Rubin, Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, and Lauren Southern, Chen served as another type of conduit at a time when the alt-right was just forming its online network, a community on YouTube where the loudest and most reactionary voices got rich and famous and leaned on one another's growing audiences to become more so. Chen gained a following by bridging some of the internet's most noxious far-right voices to more mainstream conservative creators. You're like the biggest thing on YouTube, the Daily Wire's Michael Knowles gushed in a 2017 interview with Chen, where the pair discussed the political power of online conservatism and defended speaking with white nationalist Richard Spencer, though both said they disagreed with his ideas. Yeah, Nazis. Whatever. Everyone goes on everybody's shows, Knowles said. We are dominating the internet. Those connections made Chen an ideal recruiter. In early videos announcing Tenet Media Channel last year, Southern and other contributors specifically noted their relationship to Chen, who had known most, if not all, of the contributors professionally, having come up together online roughly a decade ago and having appeared on each other's shows for years. Indeed, the indictment suggests, based on her internal communications, that Chen knew that the money for Tenet was coming from the Russians, and that she was being funded not for her commentary but for her connections. Chen started posting online in 2016 under the moniker Roaming Millennial. The Chinese Canadian was a fresh voice in the far-right online ecosystem, a young woman of color who had lived all over the world, in Shanghai, Singapore, and London, entering a mostly white, American male-dominated movement. Chen posted anti-immigration, anti-LGBTQ rights, anti-feminism, and anti-diversity content, explaining in her YouTube channel's bio section that she hoped to opine on the debate between hate speech and free speech, crediting Milo Yiannopoulos, one of the first professional far-right internet trolls, for her foray into video. It's fair to describe them as my offspring, my sort of ideological descendants, Yiannopoulos told NBC News this week of Chen and other Tenet commentators, though he hardly remembered Chen despite having appeared on her channel. She was such a non-entity, Yiannopoulos said, terminally unremarkable. No one can remember anything Lauren Chen did because she's never done anything, Yiannopoulos added, until now. On numerous podcasts and videos, Chen is described coming from a naturally conservative family and moving further right in college, first at the University of Southern California, where she joined the college Republicans, and then at Brigham Young, where she studied political science and screenwriting. About a year after graduating, she started making videos. At the time, YouTube was becoming the place for young conservative activists to make a name for themselves. Political and algorithmic incentives amplified the most extreme and entertaining voices and reactionary takes, making stars of creators on the ideological fringes. Open white nationalists and conspiracy theorists alongside mainstream libertarians and conservatives, mainstream conservatives? Okay. Became online influencers, tapping into a countercultural appeal that worked in the new attention economy. Oh, the attention economy. That's pretty good. I have been thinking the same. I got to catch up with you guys. Chen described her early 2016 videos as a little dinky slideshow presentations about social issues. Even those early videos showed an affinity for RT. She quoted the Russian-controlled media outlet in videos including hate speech or free speech, the dangers of censorship. As her following grew, what was once a side hobby became a full-time gig in 2017. Okay, I'm actually not going to read the entire history, but I will link this so that you too can read about Lauren Chen. But my God, we've got other things. Okay, let me see here. Da 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 da. Wah wah wah. Can you stop for a moment while I get some more tissues, please? I'm sorry, Carla. I didn't stop. I apologize. I've seen that game on YouTube ads. Did the fire go out? Did the windows break? Did she find a baby in the bin? Wait, what? What game is that, Carrie? There was Mommy's Little Helper for a reason. Yeah, remember those, like, what is that? Pills, Thorazine? I don't even know. Please don't do Lauren Boebert next. No, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna switch to Lauren Michaels. No, I'm just kidding. One of the commentators switched my ears off. Yeah. Please call her Laura and not Larry. I don't. Oh, okay. I don't doubt anyone here wants to contribute to the transphobia of the world, and using it to attack anyone normalizes using it to attack trans people. Thank you, Meowing Star. That's a good point. Thank you. Persons without are also unwitting. Thank you, Meowing Star. That's an excellent note of caution. I have been thinking the same, Meowing Star. Hello to the 25 wonderful loungers on here. Yes, hello, Paulina. San Fran gal is Paulina. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or a typo, Meowing, but I agree with what you said. I think it's been a joke that has been made, so that's fine. This is what I love, is when we can kind of like, hey, that's not really cool for these reasons, and everyone goes, oh yeah, that's not cool. So that's great. That's what we do here. The Lonely Cabin in the Woods game. Oh. So Hunter Biden responded to Melania's lawsuit. Why? What happened? I read about that. I'm like, what the hell? What were mommy's little helpers anyway? I always assumed amphetamines. I think it's actually Valium. I think Valium was considered mommy's little helper, right? Yeah, Valium. Okay, Grace Lisa commented. Yes, it's hello, Paulina. I'm telling you, the handles. I'm amazed that I remember people's handles. But here we are. Oh, sweating. I'm sweating. Okay. This is the same way I feel, Meowing Star, when we make jokes about Lindsey Graham being gay, because it's like being gay is not a slur, right? So that's not how I choose to insult Lindsey Graham, because that to me is that's not an insult. So that's why I also kind of get squirmy and uncomfortable and say something usually if we go hard on the Lindsay is gay kind of thing. Because I don't give a shit if Lindsay's gay. I want Lindsay not to be an asshole. Exactly, Paulina. That's why I don't want to. Being a hypocrite is a slur, though. What do you mean? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Said she could F off. Oh, yeah. I mean, I appreciate that Hunter Biden is able to speak for himself and all that kind of stuff. But I don't joke about Lindsay being gay. It's the fact he is a pedophile. Oh, I don't know that he's a pedophile, Tom. I'm just not sure. Oh, God. But anyway, I just, this is the thing. And we all do it. And so I'm not judging because I do it myself. Yeah, he's gay and supports anti-gay policies. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a thing. But it's not for me to judge him on that, right? I'm not a member of the LGBTQ community. So I don't feel like I'm in a position to judge, except for the fact that that's his politics, and I can attack his politics. But I do think it makes me uncomfortable, and normally to just like attack someone based on. I mean, I fat shame people and stuff like that. I'm hoping to do it in the spirit of I don't really care if you're over your goal weight or anything. That doesn't really matter to me, but I know it bothers you and it's punching up. So there's some scenarios where I'm more okay with it, but I don't know. I just think it's too normalized for us to. Yeah, exactly. I don't care if he's gay. I don't care if he's gay. I really don't. I don't care who he sleeps with. If he's done something illegal, then he should be like, taken out to the woodshed. Yeah, his hypocrisy is disturbing and it's very upset. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I just think it's real easy for us to attack him on that. And I'd rather attack him on the fact that he's just a fucking dick. But I don't know. I think it's a constant like how do we keep ourselves honest about it and, live the life that we want to live and I don't know. I don't know. I can. Here's what I think. Okay. Here's what I think. I feel like I feel uncomfortable, even though I'm not a member of the LGBTQ community. I feel uncomfortable when people act as if being gay is an insult, and I don't know. It just really it doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? Like it's just my Yes, you ear shamed him. And the thing about it is we do make those comments, and I really hope that we're making those comments as a more on the end of the ridiculous, right? So Marco has big ears. Well, he's also an asshole. And he didn't pick his ears, but I don't know. I don't care. So anyway, I'm not saying this very well, but I guess there's moments where I'm more, I'm less comfortable with kind of pointing those things out. I don't know. It just always bothers me. It just always bothers me. My son is gay and I have some fear for him. Yeah, because it's also this environment is even more charged than it normally was. And I have to believe that the environment is always charged for people in the queer community, trans community, like any of the communities that are targeted by this administration. Question about this. Isn't the call out about his sexuality intended to shame Lindsay for his policies, not imply that being gay is to be made fun of? I think it is, but at the same time, it comes off to me sometimes as that, I don't know. It comes off as not, I don't know. It doesn't work for me with him. I don't know why. I mean, and other people too. The Lady Graham and all that kind of stuff. Like, it is meant to insult his policies, but it insults his person. And I get that. I totally understand. I don't know. I think it's okay to think about language more and try and, like I think about it. And like what Meowing said about Larry Loomer and stuff like that, I didn't even make that connection in my head. So I'm appreciative of when I hear that, like, yeah, no, I actually want to give people grace because I feel also that we are very much in community where it's about learning and growing with each other and, finding out new ways to communicate, Like it totally is like it I think this is a great conversation, actually. This is a really great conversation. Yeah, call him Graham Cracker. This is a great conversation because I think this is a lot around, how we understand each other, how we support each other, right? And I appreciate that about you all is that we can have these conversations and I never want to make anyone feel like I'm putting you on blast, because I know a little bit, or I have experience with your intentions in this room, and I'm confident about the intentions of people generally. I don't know everybody, but I have enough experience with the people in this room where I really feel that we can have these types of conversations and learn together, and people are free to reject it too, right? You can reject the notation, the criticism, the changes, whatever. But I know also that these kinds of feedback is offered with love. And that to me makes the most difference. Like if we're in a place where we're coming at it from, hey, I respect you, but that kind of like gave me a twinge when you said that. That's okay. That's like a beautiful thing. That to me is a healthy relationship where we can have that. And no one should feel bad. Because again, I have not seen people act with bad intention ever in this community. And if they have bad intention, they usually leave. Like they don't stay. So I don't know. I just really appreciate you guys. And I really just appreciate people sharing their perspectives and feeling safe enough to do so. That's important to me. It's important to me that people feel safe to say, hey, this kind of bugged me. And, people will either respond or, whatever. But I think it's okay. Anyway, thank you for that. Sorry. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's see. Has anyone else seen Nick Fuentes' video, which may be AI, where he ties together Vance, Teal, Elon, Tucker, Carlson, Murdoch, Palantir together with U.S. intelligence and Trump? I can't find it now. Oh, I have not seen that, Karen. I have not seen that. Teresa! Yay, Teresa's here. Hi, sweetie. Which means it was either not real or too real. Yeah, exactly, Karen. It's true. No, but I'd like to see it now, Karen. I know. That is why I keep returning to the lounge. Excellent and open communication. Oh, Scott, I love you. I love you. We renamed the gypsy moth to spongy moth because of anti-Roma. Exactly. That's another thing. Like, I only learned later in life that gypsy was a slur against the Romani people and travelers and things like that. Like, I think it's great to learn that shit. I'm sorry. I feel like really, like, it's great when I learn that those things are just like, you don't have to say them. Like, you just don't. Chuck Johnson and Richard Spencer are big fanboys of Fuentes, just a heads up. Really? Oh, good grief. Fuentes tells the truth again. I know. He's such a dick. Oh, my God. But I would like to see that video if we could find it. That would be really cute. Let's see. Carrie, going back up here in the UK, there was an outcry when one rugby player called another gypsy boy. It wasn't an insult, it was a fact. And the player was upset that it was seen as an insult. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, but it's like that word is loaded with, kind of uh, an image. It evokes an image of, travelers and, you've been gypped. That's another way to use that word, that it's like you've been taken advantage of. And it casts a shadow on an entire people that is never deserved. I mean, that's not statistically possible that everybody in a community is that. But yeah, my mom used to always talk about getting gypped. Yeah, I had no idea until I started watching traveler reality shows. I know. Who knew? They're jealous of him. They wish they had his popularity when they were creating the alt-right white nationalist movement in 2016. That makes sense, gal. It makes sense that people would be totally like, uh, you know, envious of what people like Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes have built. They embrace the term in the UK. Yeah, I've heard that. I have totally heard that. So I mean, I think this is one that I have seen less mentioned. This is a slur situation where I've seen that less mentioned. So I feel like I don't know what the collective wisdom is on it. Hi, Amy. 101 Stacks is Amy. Good morning, Lolo. I adopted a street dog puppy. Oh, we found last month down the street. Oh, so getting up much earlier to catch your show. Well, thank you, puppy. Thank you, puppy, for getting Amy to the show. I appreciate that. I learned when a musician redid an entire song changing Gypsy Boy to Roma Boy. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think it's really, language is fascinating. That's the thing. Language is fascinating. And I don't know. I think it's interesting. And I think it's great to, like, I don't know. I'm just appreciative for people who will be patient with me when I learn these things and I make mistakes, which I inevitably do. So I just really appreciate that. So thanks. Thanks, friends. You guys are awesome. All of you. All of you. And even if you don't agree with me, I love you. I totally love you. I just want you to know that. I'm not requiring any kind of like social adherence. I'm just in a learning mode and I think it's great. I don't know. And I'm sure I say things that are very problematic and I wish I wouldn't, and I hope that people point it out to me when I do. Because I think it's a good thing. Let's see. Wait, my Romanian colleagues informed me of that. So many dog whistles, right, embedded in the language. I know there are a lot of dog whistles embedded in our language. Like things we just didn't really think about. We took for granted. They were said around us. And for some reason, we didn't question. I think we should listen to people before deciding outrage on their behalf. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that too. I agree with that. I also just don't choose to respond, yeah, on behalf of an entire group of people necessarily. But I'm open. I'm open to the learning. I remember when we were supposed to say colored, but not black. And now we say black. And yeah, well, really? Because I remember the C word is always a slur, but I don't know but I remember seeing that. But it was more commonly used when I was a child. I do remember that. But I don't know. What we do to each other as humans is really fascinating to me sometimes. You know, it just really is. It's okay if you use the word "ol." What's that mean? What's "ol"? But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. We all grew up differently too. My dad was really highly intolerant of any language slurs. I learned about the N word early on, that was not something that we say, and for this reason and stuff like that. Of OF OnlyFans? No, I grew up in Florida, so we were always behind. I mean, that's the thing, and it wasn't. Karen, you and I are similar age. I grew up in California. I don't know if that made any difference. I don't think it did, because there was certainly just enough racism in Northern California when I was a little one. You can say POC, yeah, people of color, but I also, yeah, I struggle with that one too, because it's like you're just amassing a lot. Well, anyway, I'm not going to go on, but language is interesting. I wonder about the context. Did the player call him Gypsy Boy during a game? If an NHL player called an opponent Italian boy, for example, that'd be considered a slur, in my opinion. Interesting, Neil. I don't know. S.J. Tucker, John. Oh, he's from the Pacific Northwest. Who's that? Who is that? Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you taking out time to listen to me expound on that. I have other clips for us. I have other clips. I have other clips for. I figured out a way to get my clips to work. By the way, I know you'll be delighted to. Yeah, you'll be delighted to learn. Okay, so I've got all the Janine Pirro shit out of the way. Oh, I wanted to play this too, because Italians are bad at hockey. Are Italians bad at hockey? Is this like the whole like Italians shouldn't play hockey thing? And African American was the preferred terms for years, wasn't it? That then black is the right way. Is that true? Well, I think black to me has been the more accepted term, because not everyone's origin in the black community is Africa. And many people who are black come from the Caribbean, Latin America, Europe, Asia. I think that's why black has become the more commonly used term to refer to a group or a person, because not everyone is not their provenance is not necessarily African. So I don't know. That's what I think. But one of my friends occasionally refers to herself as melanated. I've heard that. I remember race wars going on in the public high school, late 60s, early 70s. Yep. I picked Italian just as an example. Don't know if any Roma players are in the HL. I would imagine. There is. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it proud. Tell that to Phil Esposito and Alex Del Vecchio. Whoa, there are some Italians. Who's that Nazi? Psycho Nazi. Real stupid Nazi. Who's that Nazi? I love the word melanated. I think that's beautiful. Do we agree or not that people whom the slur referred to are free to continue to use the slur? Yeah. Yep. I'm not here to police anybody in a community dealing with the words around their own community. I have no. That's why I don't judge. If there's like a black politician who is MAGA, right? I'm not going to attack someone like Tim Scott because he's letting down the black community. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my place to hold him accountable from the perspective of being a black man and supporting authoritarian regimes. I will definitely attack him based on his support for the authoritarian regime. But I don't, it is not my job to hold him accountable for his impact on his black community. That I feel is not appropriate for me to do as a white woman or a white person. That's just the way I feel about it. So I don't know. What an interesting conversation. I'm glad we get to talk about these things. Thanks, Neil. But not the dames. Yeah. There is nothing like a dame. Nothing in this world. I can't wait till we get to the post-gender thing where we're not gendering things anymore. I really want that piece to be. Yes, communities can reclaim slurs against them. Yep, much like how queer has been reclaimed, especially by younger LGBTQ plus folks. Yep. 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 Yeah, I never have a problem with that. I really don't. It's not my business. I don't know. But I do have a problem if someone else uses it. But welcome to the internet too. Anyway. So this one's slightly different. We're doing a little slightly different tack here. I didn't even know Anderson Cooper was still alive, to be honest. But here he is. He still looks the same. I have a problem with the polarization of black and white. Absolutely. I just wish we wouldn't. I've been binging The Neighborhood, Cedric the Entertainer Viewpoint. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, I complained to my supervisor at a job where a New York Hispanic coworker used the N-word continuously, but as a friendly term. I don't think that's cool specifically, especially at work. Well, I don't think it's good to use that at work. I mean, regardless. But I also know, having worked in a Brooklyn high school with all kinds of different kids and origins, that the N-word is used frequently between, Latin American provenance as well as black community, etc. And again, I think that's up to people of color to police between themselves. And I'm not really here to police that. When white people use it, it's a definite power. It's a power piece. It's like it's a violent power move, and that's why I don't think that. Yeah. Eat that baby, scrumptious and baby. I like that. But I don't mind. Yeah, I don't think you should have it at work. I mean, I don't think I would have ever heard it at work, at the school, among the adults at school. I feel like they wouldn't use that word. And we are all just people, and we just look like our parents. Yeah, it's so true. Queer still gives me a pause, but I'm a little older. Seeing those younger than me reclaim it with pride gives me smiles, though, even if at first I'm paused. Yeah. And I have become, I recall when queer had a much more biting, negative connotation to it. I feel like that connotation gratefully has been lifted over the years. So I do tend to use the word queer when it seems appropriate to the situation. Intention is everything. It really is. It has a lot to do with what. But it's okay to be nice. It's okay to be thoughtful. It's okay to not say what's in your mind all the time. You don't always have to say what's in your mind. But this is the beauty. This is the beauty of humanity and being human, is that there will be beautiful mistakes. There will be beautiful grace and forgiveness. And that's what we hope for. We hope that we are given the same grace and forgiveness that we hope that we should be extending to others. And I think that's the way I want to, try and guide myself. So, yeah. Anyway, I love you guys. You guys are so fucking smart. Did you know that baby food isn't made out of babies? Until you cheat at Spaced Out Trivia, and then you're all fucking in trouble. Then you're all in the doghouse. All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm here to scare you, because here we go with the godfather of AI. I think someone actually brought this up yesterday. Like, has anyone seen this? I can't recall who it was, but let's see what this segment says. Oops.
Hinton, the Nobel Prize-winning scientist whose pioneering research helped lay the groundwork for AI.
Same with
That's
dog
why he's
food.
often called the godfather of AI. Hinton says there's a 10 to 20% chance AI will wipe out humans, but made headlines today suggesting at a conference that the tech industry should somehow install what he termed maternal instincts into superintelligent AI. So they'll protect humans like mothers protect their babies.
They've been saying, we have to stay in control of these AIs. We've somehow got to be stronger than them. We've got to be dominant and they've got to be submissive. That's not going to work. We have to make it so that when they're more powerful than us and smarter than us, they still care about us.
Jeffrey Hinton joins me now.
I love you, Carla.
Professor Hinton, your remarks have obviously gotten a lot of attention. You talked about engineers building maternal instincts into AI models. What would be the purpose of that? What would that do? And is it even possible?
Most of the AI experts believe that sometime in the next 5 to 20 years, we'll make AIs that are smarter than people. And they'll probably end up much smarter than people. And there's very few examples we know of smarter things being controlled by less smart things. In fact, pretty much the only example we know is a mother being controlled by her baby. To make that happen, evolution built maternal instincts into the mother. And if we don't do something like that with these alien beings that we're creating, we're going to be history.
How hard is it from just a technological perspective to actually build motherly instincts? I mean, is there an example of that being done at all, or has that happened at all?
The only real example we have is evolution. Evolution obviously made a pretty good job of it with mothers. People haven't been focusing on that. They've been focusing on making these things more intelligent. But intelligence is just one part of a being. We need to make them have empathy towards us. And we don't know how to do that yet. But evolution managed it, and we should be able to do it too.
You know, we've heard from so many people, leaders in the tech field, who say, well, look, if the U.S. doesn't win this war, this battle for dominance in the AI world, a rogue nation, a country that's an enemy of the United States, China, Russia, they're going to have AI. If China is not developing AI that has maternal instincts, and the U.S. is the only one who has maternal instincts, does that not make them... is that not making them weaker in this war for dominance?
Well, there are many risks of AI, like cyber attacks and loss of jobs and making nasty viruses. But one of the risks is this existential threat that AI will take over. And for that threat, all the countries will collaborate because they're all in the same boat. No country wants AI to take over. Just as the USSR and the Americans collaborated at the height of the Cold War, countries will collaborate on how to prevent AI from taking over from people.
But who has 3 hours?
Do you believe human nature won't encourage some leader somewhere or some government somewhere to believe that they can control it, whether or not that's actually possible?
Well, we have a nice example in the States of a government that's determined to control it. I don't think that's going to work. It may work against other countries, but when AI becomes smarter than people, that's just not going to work. This whole idea that people need to be dominant and the AI needs to be submissive, that's the kind of tech bro idea that I don't think will work when they're much smarter than us.
Do you really believe? Do you still believe that 10 to 20% chance of AIs wiping out humans is possible?
Oh yes. If we can't figure out a solution to how we can still be around when they're much smarter than us and much more powerful than us, we'll be toast.
What do you think? I mean, it's stunning to me that this technology, it's already changing things, but the tidal wave of change that we are going to be seeing shortly and are already seeing, that it's being run by people who are not elected. These are people, who are making billions of dollars doing this.
Right.
Nobody ever really elected them. There's been no consensus agreement that, yes, this is good for humanity. Do you think the average person, and I include myself in that grouping, understands what is about to happen here?
No, I think they don't. And I think it's important for the public to understand it. We need a counter pressure to the tech bros who are saying there should be no regulations on AI. And And also we need the countries to understand they need to collaborate on how to avoid the existential threat.
What do you think it does to initiative for, I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. I'm very worried about, what world they're going to have in 10 years when, if there's machines that do everything better than humans do, what's the initiative for people to strive to become good at something?
One thing we know about mothers is mothers genuinely care about their babies, and they do whatever they can to make life interesting for the babies and to make the babies grow and realize their full potential. So if we have super intelligent AI looking after us,
our
we
parent?
may be able to get the same thing.
Jeffrey Hinton, it's a real pleasure to talk to you. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Gotta run some errands. Oh, bye, gal. Are you planning to stream Newsom? Yeah, it's at 8. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Did I miss it? Hold on. Let me find it. Damn it. I did mean to play Newsom. God damn it. Where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is he? Oh boy. And then that's at 10. I have an appointment at 11, so I have to leave a little bit early, but Hunter Biden apologizes. What is that? Okay, wait. What? Wait, what? I don't see a lot. I had a notification on, but I don't see it as coming up yet. Did he already do it? Fuck. Okay, hold on. Well, that's not spelled right. Do. Where is it? Damn it. He must not have spoken yet, right? Oh, wait. Newsom rejects Thursday. Well, I can play this. I spelled his name wrong. How embarrassing. Let me play this while I'm looking for it. I don't think it started yet.
Today, California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom is promising his own Liberation Day. He is scheduled to hold a news conference in just a few hours in response to President Trump's push for Texas and other red states to redraw
I'm not going to, because that's when my appointment is.
Newsom wrote on social media that today will mark a, quote, huge historic event, and that Democrats will destroy Texas. Governor Greg Abbott's, quote, totally rigged maps. CBS News political director Finn Gomez joins us now from our D.C. bureau to break this all down. So, Finn, it looks like they've got some new people in the social media department in the governor's office. They're using that all-cap bold language, also ending the tweets by saying, thank you for your attention to this matter, which is
very Trumpian.
Very Trumpian, exactly. Explain the strategy. Have we had any sort of statements from the governor's office about this strategy, and what do we more seriously expect from this news conference?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the strategy, it's really an effort to tweak the president. Newsom, of course, is eyeing a 2028 White House bid of his own, but it's also an effort to mobilize and galvanize Democrats on this issue. And at that news conference that you're talking about, it's going to be at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Governor Newsom is set to launch his reciprocal efforts to gerrymander California in response to Texas Republicans' own efforts to redraw and add seats to benefit Republicans there and improve their chances of retaining the House during next year's midterms. California currently has 52 congressional seats. Democrats hold 43, Republicans hold 9. Vlad, Newsom and Democratic leaders believe they could flip potentially 5 Republican-held seats and potentially increasing their margin and countering Republican gains in other states. The proposed new map in California are expected to be unveiled by the end of the week before the state legislature there, and then they will act potentially next week, and then eventually the issue could be placed before voters in November, Vlad. Voters will be voting on this potentially. A new poll, however, commissioned by Politico shows that Newsom may have some obstacles in his path with California voters who, according to the survey, support the current independent redistricting commission structure by nearly a 2-to-1 margin. 64% of California voters supported it, according to this poll. But so what Newsom is proposing here would temporarily suspend that committee to implement his plan. He's framing this as a resistance against Trump-style tactics. Prominent California Democrats, including Nancy Pelosi and Senator Alex Padilla, support the effort. But his strategy is simple. He says that he is fighting fire with fire to counter President Trump and Republicans, and he can make the argument that he is the one leading the fight on redistricting for Democrats on a national scale. Important to note again that Newsom is eyeing a potential run for 1600 Pennsylvania. So all of this has a veneer
I've known that
of
since
politics
the 90s.
bigger
Who hasn't known
than
that?
just the current redraw fight.
He hasn't made it
Vlad.
quiet that he
And
wants
so
to be
ultimately, this push in California, if they're able to get it done, are we looking at a cascading effect where we see other states trying to attempt the same?
In all likelihood, yes. And just a reminder, I mean, this is all about the midterms, Vlad. All 435 seats are on the line in 2026. Even small changes in California could swing the national balance. Right now, of course, Republicans have the majority in both the House and Senate. If California succeeds, other Democratic-led states like Illinois could follow suit. And Republicans, as we have reported, are looking to expand congressional districts in other states, including potentially Florida and Missouri. And just, if you recall, Vlad, this was all initiated by President Trump and his Republican allies. Historically, whichever party controls the White House has lost seats in Congress during the midterm elections. And this was essentially initiated to stave off those historical headwinds. Vlad.
Very interesting. All right, Finn Gomez, thank you very much, my friend.
Wow. Let me catch up with chat. Yeah, I agree. Carla, I'm going way back up to what you said. Some moms, not all moms, care about their kids. That is unfortunately true. There can be a lot of pain around your parental relationship as well. AI would use the resources so it could keep predicting the next word, dry up the oceans, create so much pollution from the calculations. It would block out the sun because they want to predict the next word, don't care about what that costs humanity. I don't know if that's true, because wouldn't AI be smart enough to know that it's destroying things? Wouldn't it be smart enough to figure that out? But AI is not a natural propagation of a species. That's true, Neil. It is something being constructed. Can I be a super intelligent AI's pet, though? Yes. Can I be the nice AI's pet? If I can choose my master. How are all of the ways you've inadvertently killed something that was in your way or that you weren't aware of? You mean like bugs and stuff like that? Donald Trump thinks the elderly are burdens on society. That's why he dragged his feet on the COVID response he thought only affected the elderly, who he referred to as non-productive. I think that could be a deep down. It seems almost too thought out for him, but I could see where that is possible. Elvis is out. Yeah, Mr. Dump is also elderly. I think about that periodically and how they kind of learn they can be negligent to kill millions. Yep, absolutely, Meowing Star. That's why they're doing away with Social Security. Well, they're certainly trying. And conviction, some deserve to live more than others. Then note life expectancy, childhood survival gains of 20th century. Now view those as undesirable results of interference. That's a good point. Is that being elderly is now, a liability that will take resources from me. There is a lot of red in California. There is a lot of red in California. That's why I'm curious about this redistricting and I don't know. I mean, I have to just let it sink in a little bit. Ask me how I know. Oh, baby. I love you. Damn it! Can we please get off the Electoral College? I don't think that's going to happen. Headlines, yeah. AI commits infanticide, right? Or elder patricide or whatever. Are you nervous about your appointment, Lolo, or anxious to find out what's up? No. This is actually this is a different appointment. This is a dental appointment. I'm following up on my dentist appointment. So I am nervous about it, but not nervous in the same way as the other one, but I'm okay. I also think that's pushing dumps deportation nonsense. Undocumented immigrants contributed $13 billion into the Social Security and $3 billion to Medicare. Yeah, that's a good point, Jim. Yes, they have. I just read today that an elderly man with cognitive impairment post-stroke was lured by a chatbot on Meta to NYC where he passed away. What? Reread California. Yeah, don't forget the governor. Yeah, I know. No, this state can go either way. I have no doubt in my mind. I don't take that for granted at all. This is not a reliably blue state at all. It really isn't. I mean, there's just really big pockets of red throughout the Central Valley into Northern California, Southern California, Orange County. There's some big red pockets. I thought you had the same problem I do. Whenever I type don't spell check out, automatically changes it to Dawn. Oh my God. We're all gonna freak out. La 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 la. La 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 la. What was Eric Trump on Fox and Friends yesterday for? What the fuck did he talk about then? Okay, hold on. I've got some bookmarks here. I really want to do. I really want to do. What? Na 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 na. La 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 la. Oh yeah, I want to open that one. And then what do I want to do here? Hold on. Stay with me. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 Open in a new tab. Okay. Well, Lee was coming in hot yesterday with a bunch of headlines. And this is one of them. This is one of the headlines Lee came in hot with. Oh, yeah. As Dumpy prepares to go to see Putin, first of all, Putin and Lavrov are going to be there. If I were Dump, I would not drink the tea. That's what I would not do. Because I have no doubt in my mind that these guys are upset that they're not getting. I mean, actually, I guess they are getting their way if you think about it. Because I do expect him to agree that, or at least come out of that meeting tomorrow saying, oh, yeah, Ukraine, you need to give up everything. You just have to. Reagan was governor. I know. Reagan was governor of California, for Christ's sake. Wasn't California a Republican state in the 1930s to 50s? I mean, I don't know about that, but I just don't know the history of it. From 67 to 75, yeah. Lummock's now talking about giving Alaska resources to Putin. Well, I mean, I just don't think that's true, because how could he do that, Tom? I mean, Alaska has oil. You can't tell me that he's going to give up a place that has oil that we already have. Now, the Russians made a cheeky joke yesterday on their little whatever show that they shouldn't have sold Alaska for $7.2 million. They really shouldn't have. And so it's very poetic that Putin is going to be on formerly Russian land. It's not being taken off the menu that Trump needs to worry about. It's rather being 84th, given plutonium element. I know. See, that's what I think, Meowing Star. That's what I think. I think it's the laced tea that disfigures his face, which wouldn't kill him, but would embarrass him. And I don't put it past Putin to embarrass him at all. They are pulling the same thing as Ukraine, citing heritage. Yeah, I know. I can recall GOP like Pete Wilson. Oh my God, I totally remember that. I totally remember Pete Wilson. He was a nightmare. It's a don't look day on the stock market. Okay, well, they might discuss Arctic trade routes for when the ice caps melt. That's true, Josh. That's a good point. Well, Lee reminded us that Alaska has weather. Alaska capital Juneau dodges flood as emergency barriers contain glacial outburst. This is from yesterday. Or no, today? No, yesterday. No, it's today. Shit. Emergency officials say new barriers appear to have worked as planned, with only scattered reports of water leaks. I can only hope. Oh, here, this is the Alaska. Wait, let me see if this will work. Yeah, it'll work. Holy shit. God, floods are so scary to me. I can't even tell you. Rushing water is so scary. Sounds like the glacier is a toddler throwing a tantrum. Yeah. I'm coming out. Hey, man, global warming. Oh, yeah, flooding really scares me. It really does. Remember I posted the about Arctic trade routes? Yes, Tom. Arnold. Yeah, as a full Republican. Wow, that's bad. Well, I hope nobody's car gets stuck. No presidential limos or anything, you know. You know. Okay. Anyway, you get the point. But what it says is emergency barriers are installed through the Alaska capital of Juneau have appear to have successfully funneled floodwaters away from neighborhoods during a glacial outburst supercharged by climate change. Flooding risk began dropping August 13th after the Mendenhall River crested at a record-setting 16.65 deep as of 7:15 a.m. and began to empty, according to National Weather Service experts. The water level had fallen about 8.75 feet by 4:45 p.m. Juneau officials issued an all-clear announcement about 4 local time, saying that the flood threat had passed and waters had receded from roads. Residents given an all-clear to return, but officials said there were reports of ponding water in 2 areas, but it represented minor leaks, not a breach in the Mendenhall Valley neighborhood where the majority of the city's residents live. We have crews monitoring the areas closely and will continue to provide updates. Power crews. Well, so basically the bottom line is this. Boy, you could it could be a really, really interesting meeting if we've got a massive flood. And I wouldn't put it past God to go ahead and just fuck that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. And this is another Lee. Oh, wait a minute. I've got another one here. Hold on. Open a new tab. Open it in a new tab. Oh my gosh, I've got so much. Okay, this is also from Lee. Little switchy switch. What else were we supposed to do? They said, yeah. The Trump boys yesterday defended their millions in crypto dealings due to them getting debanked by all the big banks, and mentioning the debanking was due to money laundering risks. Oh my God. We had a wildfire about a mile from here. Smoke was really thick. There are no water drop aircraft. Carrie, I was wondering too about Canada. I wonder if other states have sent firefighters to Canada. And that's another thing I have. Wait, hold on. I've got that. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. Let me see. It might be over here. Because I had something about the Canadian wildfires that I wanted to show. Let me see here. I'm going to my thing over here, and then I'm going over there. Yeah. Yeah. Where is the damn? I had some Canadian. Oh, I have that too. I want to show you that. Where's my Canadian piece? Where's the Canadian? Damn it. Damn it. Where did I put that? Where did I put it? I'm so. Damn it. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, calm down. because we love our Canadian friends and we're sad that this is happening. I really am. I hope that you guys are going to get some relief from other. New Brunswick is burning. Miramichi, the Miramichi. Oh, okay. I reckon UK isn't equipped for wildfires like southern U.S. cities, right? I would imagine. Oh, no, no, no. Now they are posting videos of Trumpers bulldozing homeless camps. I've seen that, Jim. Remember what 21 to 24 was like when he wasn't president? That was awesome. I know. Remember that? Oh, it's been very dry. Yeah, I would think wildfires in England would be very scary because of the lack of like able response, I imagine. Where my parents are from, Mom said she's never known of any forest fires. Really? Jim Nalgren, thank goodness that's fucking hard. It is so fucking heartbreaking. I can't even tell you.
Canada is facing its second worst wildfire season on record, according to the Canadian Interagency Forest Fire Center. With more than 72,000 square kilometers burned, an area the size of New Brunswick, surpassing 1989 and about half of last year's record. Saskatchewan and Manitoba have been hit hardest, with smoke choking communities nationwide and 1,400 international firefighters brought in since May. Scientists warn climate change is making these seasons longer and more intense. And on that note, we're joined by Robert McClellan, professor at Wilfrid Laurier University and an expert on climate change impacts. Thanks for being here, Robert.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So from your perspective, what makes 2025's wildfire activity so extreme?
Well, there's a couple of things that are happening. So this is the third consecutive year of really hot, dry conditions in Western Canada, where we've had really large wildfires. And it got off to an early start this year. So in many parts of northern Manitoba and parts of Saskatchewan, the fire season started in May and June. And that's really problematic for a couple reasons. One is that obviously it makes the length of the fire season just that much longer, but also in the early parts of summer, late spring, there's not a lot of green vegetation in the forest, and there's a lot of litter that has accumulated over the course of the preceding winter. So it got off to a really big start in terms of fires, and there's been a lot of displacements, people having to be evacuated. And now the season is extending right across Canada. We've got fires from British Columbia to Newfoundland now.
Well, Saskatchewan and Manitoba have seen the most land burn. Why are these provinces being hit so hard this season?
Well, there's a couple things going on. The fires that are burning in northern Saskatchewan, northern Manitoba are in fairly loosely populated areas. A lot of the communities up there are First Nations communities. There's not a lot of firefighting capacity up there. And what's happened is, again, we had this really hot, dry spring and early summer in those areas. The fires started naturally from lightning strikes. And so it's just one of those cases where the conditions are ideal for large fires. The actual number of fires is not all that different from preceding years, but it's the size of the fires, because there's so much flammable material available that the fires are spreading rapidly and covering large areas.
Well, what about Manitoba? Because we've been seeing quite a bit of activity there as well.
Yes. So if we look at sort of the larger pattern over the last 3 years. So 3 years ago, we had really large fires in northern British Columbia, northern Alberta, parts of northwestern Saskatchewan. Then last year, of course, we had the big Alberta fires that destroyed the town of Jasper, for example. This year, what's happened is, given the precipitation patterns and the temperature patterns, essentially northern Manitoba has become the hot spot this year. It was spared some of those big fires in the last couple years, but this year, essentially, those hot, dry fire weather conditions have spread into Manitoba.
Jim, did they release anything on that, or no?
Is that
just you're
and
just
of course
commenting
it's
on
spreading
that?
smoke all over the country at times, and even down in the United States.
Val,
now,
you're getting good
scientists
rest.
link
That's
more
good.
intense fire seasons to climate change. Can you explain how warming climate drives this trend?
Absolutely. So I keep using the term fire weather. And so that's a set of conditions where we have above average temperatures, below average precipitation for an extended period of time. This is the sort of thing that farmers would refer to as drought conditions. And so when these fire weather conditions are occurring, then the risk of a fire occurring naturally is elevated. And what happens with a warming climate is that the number of days per year, essentially, that can fall into that fire weather conditions, it just increases. And so it starts to happen earlier in the year. We get more fire weather days throughout the year, and then the whole fire season extends over a longer period of time. So essentially, it elevates the risk of fires. And scientists estimate that in Canada, for example, the risk of wildfires due to extended fire weather conditions has doubled over the last century or so. So it doesn't mean to say that fires don't naturally occur. It's just that the risk of fires occurring increases and the potential for them to get larger increases as the climate warms. We also have some other things going on in terms of some of the forests, have been damaged by insects because winters are milder, and so there's greater insect activity in the forest, and so there's more weakened trees that are available to be burned during a fire.
Fascinating. So insects also impact the wildfire season. That's interesting. Now, Canada has been at peak preparedness since May, even bringing in 1,400 international firefighters. Is this the new normal for firefighting in Canada, do you think?
I'm afraid it is. It's not like these conditions that make fires more likely are going to change anytime soon, so long as we keep burning fossil fuels. So we need to adapt, and one of the ways that we need to adapt is to have better forest firefighting capacity. So part of that is being able to move firefighters from one province to another in order to assist with firefighting. So right now we have firefighters from Quebec moving into Western Canada because Quebec has been spared a lot of the firefighters. But even domestically, we simply don't have that kind of capacity. So the fire season in the Southern Hemisphere is obviously opposite to ours. So we need to look at international agreements to move firefighters north and south to deal with the risks of greater fires in the future.
Yeah, in the past, we've had some from Australia and Mexico, so perhaps this is the new in-demand job that we might see in the near future. Now, what does this mean for the rest of the season, and how should Canada prepare for the years ahead?
Well, there's a couple things for this particular season. So we've seen drought conditions emerge in eastern Canada, in the Atlantic provinces. There's a fairly significant wildfire that has emerged on the island of Newfoundland. So the Atlantic provinces have implemented burn bans. Much of Western Canada has burn bans. That means no campfires, no burning outdoors of any type. We need to follow through on those because, we don't want to accidentally set fires in areas that are now at high risk. Looking forward into the future, there's a few things we need to do. We need to make our communities that are close to the forest more resilient. And what that means is creating natural fire buffers around settlements. It means in some cases prescribed burns, so deliberately going out and setting controlled fires to burn off some of that excess flammable vegetation at times when it's safe to do so. Right? It also means, again, better resources for emergency planning, for evacuation, for firefighting. We just need to recognize that this is the new norm in forested areas of Canada.
And fire smart communities have been proven to be very beneficial in some areas. Completely protecting infrastructure and homes in those communities. So something worth considering. Robert, we appreciate your time today.
Social work and other focus.
Thanks for having me on.
That's Robert McClellan, professor.
Thank you, Professor McClellan. Yeah. Yeah, good way to immigrate. Yeah, Ontario Premier cut the firefighting budget by 67%. Good old Doug Ford. Isn't he the guy who took drugs? Or no, is that the other guy? I always feel like that. Just FYI, Neil says, Canada does not have a FEMA as fighting wildfires provincial jurisdiction. Surprise, Conservative premiers have been defunding firefighting resources. That's, they're kind of eating their... I hope people are really pointing that out. Yeah, lots of toxic stuff. Yeah, but I'm sure just using precaution. We have a local news outlet that posts daily fire and spark risk for community guidelines. We have had several extremely huge fires in our area in the past years. Oh, Grace Lisa. I know. In California, we really are a little more... Well, Northern California. Like my sister lives in a forest too, so, she's always careful about fires and watching the news for that. Oh my God. Let's see. What was? Oh, the New Brunswick, because they weren't figuring. That's the other thing. The right wing chud who wants to fight the no forest entry rule is a former People's Party candidate. No surprise. That's right, because there was what was the province that put that into effect? Was it Nova Scotia? That you can't go into like parkland or something like that, or forest land because of the fire danger. Is that did I hear that? I know they're all upset about that, by the way. They're all upset. The Canadian chuds are just like, ugh. Don't stop my ability to set a huge wildfire. Nova Scotia imposed a ban. That's right. Yeah, I know. The chuds were really having a field day with that one, but fuck them. All right. Let me see. Hold on to your loving arms. Let's see what else I have on. Oh, I wanted to show you this because it was fun. But I mean, I probably should just continue reading the serious things that I have for you, which I will. But I want to show you this first because I thought it was an awesome picture. Hold on. Don't say anything yet. I wanted to show you this because it's fucking amazing.
Well, beachgoers at some of Maine's most popular beaches have been put on alert. What looks to be a great white shark was spotted off the coast near Portland earlier this week. Officials say the shark is 10 to 12 feet long.
That's a motherfucking
commercial
big
clam
shark.
Fisherman was able to get some drone footage of the shark swimming just beneath the surface.
Shitballs.
Fatal shark attacks on humans are rare.
Yeah, but they happen.
And maintain Ukraine.
That was it. It's time to watch Jaws again. Our final summer viewing. We should do that. I should have my final summer viewing of Jaws because if you don't know me, every summer I make a point of watching Jaws multiple times throughout the summer. It's my favorite. But yeah, I wanted to show you that shark. That was great. Okay, wait. Let's see. Is this it? No, that's not it. Oh wait, that was it. Oh man. Oh no, I already played that. Okay. Oh, I wanted to do this one. Let's do this. This is from Lee. Ooh. 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 Build your dream website. No. This is from the Michigan Daily. We're going to need a bigger thesaurus. That's right. That's a big fucking shark, okay? Can I just tell you, that's a big fucking shark. Badger, thought you were making fun of Pierre Polyev, whose real name is Jeff. No, it's not. Is it really? His real name is Jeff? We're going to need a bigger boat. We have burn notices here, too, more frequently every year, especially in the rural areas. I'm telling you, fires seem to be they're going to happen. Like, I think it is going to become more common, even in areas where they haven't been common before. That makes sense to really augment your firefighting resources and ideas. Oh my God. I'm just so sad about how stupid our country is going to become or is becoming because people are leaving who are smart. And the programs that actually help us figure out this stuff are all being decimated. Oh, and by the way, yesterday, an appeals judge gave Trump a win on ending all foreign aid. So that case was decided yesterday, by the way. The good news is the great white is coming back because seal population rising. Oh, climate change. Who knew oil companies knew in the early 1980s? You know, Dan, that is such an untold story about how oil companies really knew what was going to happen and decided to suppress it. That is there should be charges against oil company executives who did that. I'm sorry. There's a lot of forest here, but a lot of yellow star thistle, which is highly flammable. Oh, did not know. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Well, so Lee shared this. Polyev's birth mother wanted to name him Jeff before she put him up for adoption. Supposedly, he's sometimes called Jeff by friends. Oh, okay. I didn't know he was adopted. Not ending foreign aid to traders, though. No. Here we go. Michigan cancels doctoral epidemiology program admissions for 2026. Dang it. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. The University of Michigan School of Public Health will not admit a new cohort to its PhD in epidemiologic sciences program for the 25-26 admission cycle, citing major disruptions to research funding and fellowship support. According to a departmental email sent Monday, the students who were deferred or admitted through dual degree programs and are scheduled to begin in 2026 will enter the program as planned. The department also hopes to resume admissions for the fall 2027 class. However, no new applications will be accepted this cycle. In the email, Chair of Epidemiology Belinda Needham wrote the admissions pause was prompted by financial hardships, including the sudden cancellation of multiple grants and training programs that fund doctoral students. The Department of Epidemiology is experiencing unusual financial hardships as a result of the unexpected cancellation of current funding, including multiple terminated grants and diversity supplements that were funding PhD students, and discontinuation of several key programs that support the research portfolio of our faculty and students, Needham wrote. Given these unexpected financial pressures, we have determined that our department faculty does not have the funding necessary to support an incoming PhD class in the fall of 26. In an email to the Michigan Daily, University spokesperson Colleen Mastoni wrote the pause is temporary and resources will be redirected to existing students. Because the department must find alternative sources of funding for doctoral students who have been impacted by these terminations and delays, they paused admissions to their PhD program, Mastoni wrote. This will help ensure sufficient resources to support current students through the completion of their degrees. So, real world consequences and real world impact that will fuck us. That appeals court, Lolo, has Rao, a Trump pick. She reminds me of Cannon so much. I wondered about that, Teresa. I wondered about that. I know, University of Michigan. I know, meowing. There was a similar University of Chicago story. Oh, really, Oomph? Well, I imagine there's many. But thank you. I want to look that one up too. Because I think that is also, I don't know. I just feel like there's some big shit happening and we're just not it's not totally in our consciousness, if that makes sense. I imagine other universities will be in the same situation. I believe so, meowing. I mean, I think this is just one story, of a deleterious impact that this fucking administration is having. This fucking fucks. These fucking fucks. I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it there today and get ready for my appointment and get settled. And I will be back tomorrow morning. And you know what I think I'm going to do, everyone? I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, so you can tell me. I think I'm going to make tomorrow's, if you understand my statement on Rao. I do understand your statement on Rao. Hope the appointment goes well. Thank you so much, Meowing Star. I'm sure it will. I really like my dentist too. They're very nice. I really lucked out with my medical team this time, if you will. I'll give them hell. That's right. I'll bite them. Why don't I bite the dentist? That's a good idea. I think I should. Thanks, for that idea. Yeah, positive vibes for everybody. Positive vibes for all of you. Happy birthday to Badger. Happy birthday if I missed your birthday. This is from Seven Mountains Dominionists. They're attacking and weakening every institution. Hell yeah, Karen. But I'm thinking of starting the Friday show, the Puff Puff Pass Fridays. I'm thinking of just going and starting it at 6:30 versus 7. So I think I'll just start it at 6:30 at the regular time. I was trying to be cute and trying to sleep in, but I don't sleep in, so I don't know why I'm worried about it. So I'm going to start my show at 6:30 tomorrow. And I'll open the Discord room so that people can just come into the Discord room. I'll figure that out ahead of time. And yeah. So, if you want to chat on the stream tomorrow, I'm just going to open the Discord room and I'll drop the link. And look at Karen has all the birthday beautiful emojis. Yay, that's sweet. Sweet. Hope you get all the mom sands you need this year. They flagged her during her confirmation with no experience during Trump's first term. Which one, Teresa? Wait, which one? Which one? Oh, that Rao. Okay. Oh my God. I had a feeling it was a Trump judge. But yeah, they codified the fact that they can, shit out all the great grants that were done for foreign aid. That's right. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 6:30 regular time. Love you so much. And thank you all for spending a little bit of your morning with me. I really appreciate it, and indulging my curation of stories for you. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much. All right, love you guys. Thanks for all your support. I really appreciate all the care and love, and I hope you get it back tenfold.